What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Topic of Discussion. I am your host, Miles Barron. Without further introduction, let's get right into it. So, as always, I get on this platform. I want to motivate. I want to push people to be great. I want to push people to excel in the things they are already doing if it's in the right direction. I just want everybody to be their best versions of ourselves, right? So, with that said, we have to know we are worthy, right? We have to know what we're capable of. We have to understand our value of life, right? We have to understand our value of life. And my question to you today is, do you understand your value? Do you understand how much you're worth? I don't mean money wise, but how much spiritually, mentally, physically, things you can't buy. Do you know how much you're worth? Do you know your value of life? Do you know how much you are valued? So, with that said, I want us today to understand what is my purpose? What is my why? And how do I take that walk? How do I succeed? How do I build these relationships? How do I take that next step in my life, right? And do you understand that you are worthy? Do you understand how much power that you have? Do you understand that just because I said before you are in this world doesn't mean you have to be of this world? Do you understand how much power that you have as an individual? And sometimes we let the world dictate how much power and how much value that we see in ourselves because we look at the world, we scroll on the world, we scroll on the internet and see what everybody else is doing. It's easy to downplay how far that we have gotten in our life, the different obstacles that we have went over to be where we are. So it's easy to look at the world and be like, okay, well, I'm not doing good in life, or I'm so far behind. No, no, we're not. We're not behind. We're not anything. We are building. We are on our walk. We are excelling. We are doing everything that we need to do. Right. And with that said, do you truly understand your value of life? Do you really understand? I know my worth. So therefore, if I'm in a relationship with this person or I'm building a relationship with this person, I can easily walk away because I know my worth. And it doesn't matter how many times you say, okay, I'm gonna do better, okay, this is what we can do, or whatever the case is, I know my value. So therefore, the more you know your value, the easier it will be to walk away from situations. The easier it will be to put yourself in another predicament because you understand your value and you also understand the value of life, right? And some people don't understand the value of life. And then that's not my job to sit and wait for you to understand the value of life, or my job to sit and wait to see if we're gonna match together or this is gonna be perfect. If it's not working right now, I'm going to leave, and I'm gonna leave everything behind me. So, with that said, with understanding your value, that also ties in with understanding your identity. And sometimes it's so many people in this world that's walking around with a mistaken identity of who they think they are or how they feel like they should be in this world, and they're lost in this world. They're losing value in this world because they have a mistaken identity and trying to make that identity towards every relationship that they get in, every relationship they're trying to rekindle, every person that they encounter. They're trying to show them who they feel like it's their identity, but it's a mistaken identity because they never took time to learn themselves. Does that make sense? Because it's hard to give someone something, and it's hard to give yourself away, to give yourself to a relationship, to give yourself to a friendship, to give yourself to bettering your life if you don't understand who you are inside, right? We always want to push to that next step. We always want to get to that next step. We always want to climb the ladder to the top. We always see everybody on social media, on the internet, doing this, doing that, getting this money, doing that, building this relationship, just got married here, just took a trip here. We see everybody doing all of these things, but at the same time, do you know who you are? Right? Do you know who you are? Because if you know who you are inside and you understand your identity, I this is me personally. I feel like how you will move and how you will maneuver throughout this world will be totally different. You won't be easily persuaded. You won't be easily tempted to do certain things because you understand your value, your worth, and your identity. And with those three things, I don't feel like you can be defeated very easily. And it's going to be very difficult to defeat you in this life, because you understand your value. And once you understand your value of life, and you understand your purpose, and you understand your identity and who you are, your character, you're hard to be defeated, because now you understand a lot more and you're not easily tempted. You have reached another step that some people have not reached yet. So maybe you're scrolling on this internet, or you're scrolling here, you're looking at this, you're looking at that. They might have all these things, but some of these people still don't even have their identities and who they are. So they're living a life without an identity. They're living this life. They're living cool. They got all these things. They got all these things. But at the same time, they still haven't understood the value of life. And that's why I don't feel like money defines happiness. I don't feel like money defines your worth, your value. You know what I mean? They look at money and say your net worth. I don't feel like money defines that. Because if you really think about it, I know it makes sense when we look at it in like the physical world, and this is your net worth, how much money you have, blah blah blah. But at the same time, what is money to someone that doesn't know their identity? What is money to someone that doesn't know their worth? What is money to someone that doesn't know their value? Because it doesn't matter how much money that you spend, you still cannot buy your value. You cannot buy your worth. You can buy your way into things. But at the same time, when those doors close and you leave all these people that you got around you, you're still stuck with yourself. And you're still going to be stuck with that mistaken identity. You're still going to be stuck with not understanding your value. You're still going to be stuck crying tears, and you have all this money, but you still haven't understood your purpose in this life. You see what I'm saying? So it's so many different ways to look at this, but I just want us to understand, because I'm not taking away nothing from nobody that they have going on, and people that are doing well in life, or they reach certain points that other people haven't reached yet. Congrats. But I just want us to understand this. I'm not hating, I'm not looking at anybody differently. I just want us to understand that your value, I feel like your personal value, your identity, your character, and your worth is so much greater than money, right? Because your life is important. Because when you're lying in that hospital bed, they can't they can't buy you. You can't buy certain things in life. They're not cures to certain things in life. And it doesn't matter how much money that you have, you can't buy that cure. It's not even made yet. Or if it is, we nobody knows about it. So therefore, we can't save that life because we don't understand that cure yet. We don't know that cure. But at the same time, what if that person understood their value of life? What if they understood their identity? What if they understood their character? So when they're laying in that hospital bed and we find out that there's no cure to their disease, they live their best life. They lived a beautiful life. They have no regrets. And I'm saying all that to say is I want us to truly understand our value of life, our purpose, our why, our identity, because our identity is something that we take with us everywhere. We can change our location. We can go start our life over. We can move to a new state. We can move to a new country. We can completely start our life, but our identity stays with us. So, you know, what I'm by saying that, I want us to understand that regardless of where you go, you still have yourself. You're the only person that doesn't leave you. You can walk away from a relationship, you can walk away from family, you can walk away from a friendship, you can walk away from a job, you can walk away from everything, but at the same time, you can't walk away from yourself, right? Because walking away from yourself is like that shadow lingering, right? And you're trying to run away, but it's a shadow. And it's your own shadow. So it doesn't matter where you go, which way you turn, how fast that you go, which way you spin. That shadow is right behind you. You can't run away from you. You can't run away from your pain. You can't run away from your life all throughout your life. You can't run away from yourself throughout your whole life, because you're going to keep carrying around that baggage. You're going to keep carrying around that pain. You're going to keep carrying around those tears. You're going to keep carrying around that hurt. You're going to keep carrying around those regrets, right? So therefore, at some point, you have to bring this up and say, you know what? I'm going to face this head on. I'm going to face this head on. And I don't care how long I have to cry. I don't care what I have to do. I don't care what changes I have to make. I'm gonna defeat this. And I'm gonna understand my value. I'm gonna understand my identity. I'm gonna understand my character. I'm gonna understand my basically me. I'm going to understand what I need to take to the next level in my life, because I can't take this version of me to the next level because it's always going to hinder me, because I never understood my identity, my character, my worth, or my value. So therefore, I can't go to the next level without understanding these things. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Because at every level in life, basically I'm going to be faced with the same things that if I just got over this or faced it head on earlier in my life, I wouldn't have to keep dealing with later on in my life. Everything that I do, okay, I still don't know my identity. I still don't know my worth. I still don't know my value. But at the same time, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to get into a healthy relationship, but I can't get into a healthy relationship because I'm always mad. But why am I always mad? Because they're not doing nothing wrong, or they're not doing anything to hinder our relationship. But at the same time, I'm still mad because I still haven't taken time to learn myself. So it's anger. And I'm blaming this person. I'm blaming the person I'm in a relationship with. I'm blaming my parents. I'm blaming this friendship. But at the same time, it's myself. And I'm blaming everybody for me. And I'm only hurting myself by doing that. And I'm also distancing myself from everybody in good relationships and good people because I haven't taken time to understand my worth. I haven't taken time to understand my value. I haven't understand to take it. Oh my gosh. I haven't took time to understand my identity, my character. What is my purpose on this earth? What is my value? What do I like? What do I dislike? What do I want to do with my life? Where do I see myself in 5 years from now? I haven't taken time to learn myself. I haven't taken time to just spend time with myself and understand, okay, this is Miles. This is Miles. This is the way I think. This is what I like to do. When I sit here, this is what I like to think about. When I'm alone, this is what I like to do. This is what makes me smile. I didn't never understood that. I never understood that 2, 3 years ago because I never taken time just to sit with myself and understand who I am. Who is Miles? Who are you? Who are you when you are alone? Do you have to be around everybody to feel like you're valued, like you're worthy? Or can you do that by yourself? Understand who you are by yourself and then go get into a relationship. Then go be the best version of yourself towards these people. Then go be the best version of yourself towards life. You have to know yourself first. If you never know yourself, it's going to be hard to defeat this world. It's going to be hard to live in this world. It's going to be hard not not to be tempted by this world, by people, by friends, by family, if you don't know yourself, because you're always going to be led by temptation because you haven't taken time to understand yourself. So it's hard to think for yourself, and it's hard to maneuver around certain obstacles in your life or move towards the things that you want to do because you're easily tempted. You can have a thought in your mind, this is what I'm going to do. And as soon as somebody says something, you do what they say. You're easily tempted because you don't understand. You don't value yourself enough. You don't feel like you're worthy enough. You don't feel like how you think and how you move is worthy enough. And we have to understand our worth. We have to understand our value, and we have to understand our identity. Okay? I want us to be the best versions of ourselves. I want us to be healed. I want us to understand that life is more than me and you. And I said this on other episodes before that. I feel like sometimes we don't see the bigger picture, and it's bigger than me and you. It's bigger than racism. It's bigger than um, just life in general. I feel like it's bigger than money. It's bigger than all this stuff that's on the internet right now. Like, we're so lost as a world, as a generation, as people. And I feel like if all of us just took control of our lives, this world would be such a better place. And open up our hearts. Stop thinking negative. Start viewing people in a positive light. Start seeing people for who they are and not who you think they are. I feel like this world would be such a different place and a better place at that. But at the same time, we can't change everybody, but you can change yourself. And I always say this, sometimes if you change yourself, that starts a chain reaction, like a domino effect. And sometimes you changing yourself can change this world. It only takes one person to make a change, but the next person start making a change. But the next person started making a change. And it's a domino effect. All right. I hope you guys got something out of today. This was identity. This was value, your worth, your character, and just who you are and becoming a better version. And remember, it all starts with you, and we have to be a better version for ourselves, for our future, for our family, for the people that we love. It's not just about me. It's not just about you. It's about seeing the bigger picture. It's about becoming a better world, becoming a better version of ourselves, and trying to make it to heaven. Right? We're down here now, but we have higher goals. We have higher goals than money. We have higher goals. We're trying to make it to heaven. I'm trying to make it to heaven. So therefore, we have to supersede this world. We have to go past what this world is seeing and the limits that this world put on everybody. My God, it's higher. Okay. This has been topic of discussion. Miles Berry. We out. We out. We out.